and that are online in my film Endgame, saying Trans-Texas Corridor, part of the NAFTA superhighway system, official Department of Transportation documents. And they think the public is so dumb. I just saw an article the other day in Mother Jones saying Ron Paul. What was the headline on that article? It attacked me as well. It was Ron Paul, don't believe the hype, I think was the headline. Yeah, don't believe your hype. It said he can't win. He goes on Alex Jones's show. They believe there's a North American Union forming. We're already in one. They've already got Canadian and Mexican troops in the U.S. and vice versa. They now allow Mexican troops in the U.S. and Texas in shootouts. It's all over the South Texas news. Yeah, there it is. Don't believe the hype. I mean, they think their readers, I mean, if I was a Mother Jones reader and somebody treated me like that, this is like saying Disney World doesn't exist in Orlando, Florida, or George Washington doesn't exist. It's like saying giraffes don't have brown spots and little horns or antlers. It's like saying a crocodile doesn't have teeth. It's like saying fish don't have eyes. Spiders don't have fangs. It's like saying fire hydrants don't have water in them. It's like saying fire engines aren't red. Fire isn't hot. Sky isn't blue. Black isn't black. White isn't white. Up isn't up. Down isn't down. Left isn't left. Right isn't right. I mean, they just say Ron Paul is insane. He says that there's a North American Union forming when it's all public, but not on the news. And people, I tell you, these so-called liberals, I watch their shows on MSNBC and stuff, and I read them. It's all about how they're so smart and they're so intellectual, and these idiots that believe in government corruption are crazy. You people are like moron children who've been given, 10 times the dose of Prozac with a ladling of shock therapy and were run over by a car. I know it feels good to stand around in a mutual admiration society going, oh, we're so smart. Oh, we're so smart. Oh, we're so trendy. Oh, we're so... I don't have time for it anymore. I mean, in fact, you can show them. They actually found the article. Yeah, it's Ron Paul, don't believe the hype. I wasn't even going to mention it, but that lie is so incredible. You scroll down there, it talks about the NAFTA superhighway, and it says, Ron Paul talks about things that don't exist, and then giggles, and then links to some other article making it up. I mean... Ladies and gentlemen, I've been to the Trans-Texas Corridor and the North American Union Department of Transportation meetings in Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas. Their maps are all public. The development zones, they're building part of it outside Austin. The plan to put toll roads on all the roads. I mean, it's all happening. The city council 2 years ago, then I'm going to your calls, was still saying they weren't going to put toll roads on Mopac and I-35 when people got mad. And then they're back announcing it, but they're saying we're not calling them toll roads. We're calling them, I forget, some special lane or something. I mean, it's like when we exposed that the bill was for U.S. citizens. For 2 weeks, the media said we were liars and crazy, and that it wasn't for U.S. citizens. And then when it was admittedly for U.S. citizens, they said, so what? And then now they've doubled back and say it isn't for U.S. citizens. I remember reading the Patriot Act in 2001, right after it passed in October. I remember reading it the 28th, the day after it passed, because you couldn't read it until they passed it. Then they made it public. That was the first time that happened. Now they do it all the time. And it said it's for general public misdemeanors, no more Bill of Rights, no more Constitution, breaking your house without warrants, give you a gag order if you do. And I would get on air and talk about it. And I went to the city council, and they would laugh at me and say, Mr. Jones, everybody knows that isn't true. And I'm like, here's the subsection. And the next time I went down there, they actually listened, and Austin said they weren't going to follow it. People say, oh, well, the cities can't say anything to the feds. Oh, really? 800-plus cities have total amnesty for illegals. Even though that is a violation of the state and federal law. Why can't the states enforce what is constitutional if they're doing stuff that's unconstitutional? No, all the power is local, and the globalists know that. And the minute we figure that out is the minute we take this country back. But that's not in the Patriot Act, and they're militarily just lying to you to make the debate about is it in there or not, instead of, hey, do we want this in there? We're not chemtrailing, but we are. This is not an assault at Waco as they machine gun the people. Mars attacks. Don't run, we are your friends. Oh, you're my friend? Laser beams them. I mean, that doesn't work on me. Somebody has a dagger going, don't put your hands up, I'm a friend. That's a classic thing killers do. Do what I say and everything will be all right. No, everything's not going to be all right if you go along with them. Sure, he may stab you or shoot you right there in the shopping mall parking lot, but at least you're not going to some dungeon where they can torture you and enjoy themselves. I'm going to do what I've done, not once but twice, once with a gun, once with a knife. I couldn't help it. It wasn't because I was brave. You pull a knife and gun on me, I'm going to try to take it away, and then I'm going to hurt you. Because all I got to do is just remove that compulsion and not hurt people. Oh, the governor? I'm turning it off. Click. Tell my brain, kill. You see, we're given all these instincts for a reason, and it's time we use them in the info war. You're powerful. The system's scared of you enough to jack your water and food with stuff to make you passive on record. But you can jack that anytime you want. You can tell your brain, I'm aware of the poisoning, jack it. I'm under attack. I'm done with it. Doesn't matter what you tried on me. You have no idea how much power you've got, and the scum knows it. Matt in California, thanks for holding her on the air. Welcome.
I'd like to get a little nerd going on to help the InfoWarriors out there try to find some information on the internet.
Sure.
And a way to do that, if you have like Mozilla Firefox,
yes, sir,
in the browser, put about, config, and then hit the enter button or go, and it'll basically have like a little warning deal there. Just click past that, and then you can see in there where all the whitelist and blacklist are, and you can turn them all off.
That's right. If people would just learn how all their programs work, the legalese is, oh, you can turn off the surveillance the private companies have. Then, of course, when you do that, you always catch them backdooring it. But the point is, make it harder for them. Use things like Start Page with Catherine Albrecht. That's a proxy. You know, and it's not that you have something to hide. It's that, why do you even have walls if you have something to hide? You're not bad to have bathroom walls. You want privacy. Again, people that say, well, why do you want Bill of Rights, a Constitution? Why don't you just let us do what we want? We have privacy because we need privacy. Because why do you need a lock on your door? Because there's bad people out there. Why do you need a lock on government? Because it gets out of control in every case. This is all common sense. Anything else, sir?
Yeah, I was wanting to talk about Sun Microsystems. They have a program out, basically like for a video game, and it's called Project Darkstar. And what you do is, as a human, you go in and play the video game, and you go up against some AI. That AI, you kill them off the land, so they move away from that land, and then you start building whatever there. When they go away, they start fighting each other, and they learn how to kill each other. So then they come back and try to kill you again. If they don't succeed, they go back and do it over and over and over again, and then they learn how to kill you.
No, that's what the globalists do. But again, they know resistance is victory. We resist them, we get better. You understand? That's why we fight them. You understand? You can turn that around the other way. You understand? You understand that, correct?
Yeah, I know. They're doing it with computer chips. They're doing it with all kinds of stuff.
Well, we got something pretty powerful, too. Electrochemical. That's right. The globalists aren't going to be able to create all these fake right-wing, left-wing revolutions that are under their control. We're having a revolution against the manipulators. We're discovering the tools they've used for control. The magic trick. We're going to give the keys, the secret of the tricks, away. It's the atomic age of the renegades. All right, I'm going to go to your calls. The Ron Paul interview that I taped right before we went live today is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful ever. That's going to be streaming in audio and video at Infowars.com and out to XM, AM, and FM stations everywhere when we start the next segment. It's a segment long, 18 minutes long. It's coming up. But right now, let's go ahead and take a call here. Moving quickly, let's talk to Mike and then Otter, Lyndon, and Kyle. No, Lyndon's up first. He's been holding the longest. Lyndon in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
How you doing, Alex Jones? I'm Lyndon Glazer in Houston, Texas. I don't want to waste your time. I want to tell you something good. I've been listening to you, and a lot of Americans need to get behind Ron Paul. I can't wait for the interview. They need to listen to you. We're running out of time. We can't sit there and wait till a nuclear bomb kill our children. So what I did was I emailed you. My email is lyndonpaul@live.com. I would like you to do one thing for me, Alex. If you can forward my email to Bruce Fine, the constitutional scholar, I got a petition that can take these people to federal court, put them in jail, and put warrants out for their arrest, and I got a plan to enforce it. We need to do this because this is the way we take our liberty back, is with information. We have the Constitution as our weapon. We have the willpower. There's been enough people been ripped off, like Gerald Salente. All these people that's been criminalized can file formal charges against all these people, including Eric Holder, everybody. I got a good petition.
Well, Lyndon, let me say this. Bruce Fine's got a website. I forget the name of it, but you can get a hold of him there. But send us your petition, and I'll try to send it over to him. I say try, because sometimes stuff falls through the cracks. But God bless you, and great points. Thanks for holding to bring that up. Look, suing the system for violation of your civil rights is a great thing. Because even if you lose, some of them are going to make it through, and it's going to raise these issues. Pointing out illegal wars, pointing out illegal torture, pointing out illegal surveillance, pointing out all the criminal stuff this government's doing, like Holder shipping guns into Mexico, and the fact that he's been caught as a liar, that just keeps putting it out there where they can finally be brought to justice. You ever give in to them, and they'll never get in trouble. It's over. That's why it's a big deal that Ron Paul came out and said Eric Holder's a criminal. And the Justice Department is criminal, and did this to blame the Second Amendment. That's big news, because Ron Paul said it. And that's why we love Ron Paul. He's not a coward. So that interview is coming up. Let's jam in some more here. Otter in Mass, good to hear from you, sir. Welcome.
Greetings. You online there?
Yes, sir.
Got staticky, sorry. So, I hold in my hot little hands here a letter from the Social Security Administration, which came up earlier. And this is for an individual that's disabled entirely, completely for life. For 3 years, there hasn't been a COLA increase, and I heard a gentleman earlier speaking about it. I'm not a lawyer, I can't practice law, but I can read it. I'm looking at this, and I'm reading it, and I'm seeing that it says the amount due you beginning January 2012 is, in this particular case, $728.40. So this individual's been getting $704.40 a month for the last 3 years. That's what they're supposed to have been living on. Now, the amount being given to you, raised by law, provides for an increase in Social Security payments in January. And it goes on to say that the reason is that the Commonwealth, so I can only speak to what has been written and tailored for this state. The reason that you have received an increase is that the Commonwealth has kicked in $30.40. So in reality, SSI has rolled it back $6 per individual. And the Commonwealth has kicked in some money to make it look like it's gone up a little bit.
Well, I know this. They take your money for your whole life, and then as they devalue the currency, they cook that number. It should be a much bigger increase. And then now in Europe, they're actually cutting people's Social Security, including their private accounts, to pay the bankers who created the 1,000+ trillion. I mean, that's the big nut to crack. Everything else is chump change. We have plenty of money to pay people their Social Security. It's the same in Europe. But the media is making it all about Social Security, saying that's what's going to bankrupt things. And whether you're for it or not, my thing is it gets people dependent on government through your money they took from you and other people's. And so that's why it's so dangerous. They always steal it one way or the other. And they're stealing it through devaluation right now. I appreciate your call. We should do some articles.